special. That is exactly what the leader. I am really privileged to have those words from you, Pradeep. Just say it. It's a very wonderful theme. And I have to go back, way back in 1997 to recall it. 3 words that can change your life, as it did mine. I had just turned into a teenager. And as you would know, most teenagers do, they want to explore love. And I could not find a better person than a very beautiful girl in my class. Her name was Gayatri Rathore, a look-alike of Amisha Patel. Probably 10 years back. I went up to her, and it was a Valentine's Day. You know, boys are excited about Valentine's Day and girls are excited about Raksha Bandhan. I don't know what's the connection, but there is some connection. So this was my connection, 14 February, and I went up to her and I said, I need to say 3 important words to you. She looked into my eyes and said, yeah, come with me to the vegetable market. That was very strange, because I had seen in all the movies that some really good proposals had been made. So here I was, in the vegetable market. I stood beside her and I gave her a cabbage. And I said, this is what you mean to me. She looked into my eyes again and said, okay, are you proposing me? I said, yes, I do. What is your answer? She peeled the first layer, then she peeled the second layer, then she peeled the 4th layer, and eventually she peeled the entire cabbage and said, this is your answer. I was wondering what is the answer, and she said, it's nothing. I don't have any feelings for you. Just say it. That's very important. Had she just said it, it would have been much easier rather than peeling every emotion from that cabbage. My heart was just like peeling every time she peeled one cabbage, oh yes, oh no. But sometime later I realized that it's making someone special, as Pradeep said, is more important. What is infatuation, what is love, I haven't been able to identify that, and I'm not the proper person to comment on it. But what I'm here to tell you is why Valentine's Day is special. They say Rome was not built in a day. I would say Rome's culture was also not built in a day. How many of you have heard about Saint Valentine and the story about Saint Valentine? Raise your hand. Right, so I would have to definitely share that story. Before that, the entire Valentine's Day concept is arise from Roman culture. In those days, they used to worship the Roman gods, and Juno was the queen of goddess and gods in Rome. So what they did on 14 February, they used to honor the Juno, and on the 15th February, there used to be a feast. It was called Lupercilla. It was in the honor of the beaten god. But what was special was, just like as is today, women were sitting in a different part of the world and men were sitting in a different part of the world. So on 14th February, on the eve of the Lupercilla, the queen and the kingdom used to put jars in which females would write their names and put in there. The males would dress up as better as they could and then pick up one list. And on the day of the feast, they had the liberty to move with the female whose name was written on it. Eventually, most of them ended up marrying. That said, only people eligible were not married or not separated. Those were the days when the Valentine's Day was celebrated. It was called Juno. Then came our King Claudius, Claudius the Cruel as they called him. Claudius had only one mission, capture the world. He was a mini Alexander and he wanted every Roman to fight. So every boy, every single boy he found, he just made sure that he submitted into the military academy. And here was the saint who loved to just make sure that two people are together. There was a love in the community, there was a love in the culture. This saint's name was Saint Valentine. So Claudius the Cruel got so upset because Saint Valentine was proposing for having marriage being again accepted as a custom. He just threw him into the jail bar. And Saint Valentine was a really noble man. He had no other option but to see just one female, that was jailer's daughter. And the poor guy fell in love with her. So on the February 14th, when he was about, it was the eve of his death penalty, he sent a letter to the jailer's daughter. and he wrote it, "From your love, Valentine." And we remember that day as the true history of love, and we want to make sure that you send out message to every person in this world whom you feel is very special to you through Valentine's Day. And that being said, one important aspect of the Valentine's Day is to make someone feel special, but just to say it in the words that matter the most. One man in 1924 always felt that saying it is not easy. He felt that people are not able to express their thoughts, whether it is weddings or whether it is a grand party. So he decided to take the baton in his hand, and just like anyone else, he went back to the Roman culture and picked what is he going to work on. And that was public speaking, the art of communication, how we express ourselves. And that is when Dr. Ralph C. Smedley started Toastmaster International. From then on, this movement has just become like a Valentine's Day, spread across the world, bringing a lot of cheers and smile to every person in the community. Today, Toastmasters exists in 117 countries with over 250,000 members, and already in the last 80 plus years, 4 million people have gone through this brilliant program. A typical Toastmasters meeting is a very interesting meeting, and we'll go back to again Roman culture to understand how a typical meeting is run. So just like as on the eve of that Valentine's Day when it was called Juno, there is people who dress up very proudly, and they want to make sure that they look their best as they go to pick their chits. So the first session is called the prepared speech session, where speakers come prepared, knowing that they have to display the best skills possible. The second session is when most of us get into the trouble, when the proposal has been accepted and we have to hang out. You know whom you are speaking against, but you have to hang out and you do not know what to say. That is impromptu session. A topic is thrown to you and you have to speak off the cuff. An important question that is asked in relationship is, am I looking fat? Such questions need to be answered. I will tell you how I do answer that question when the session arrives. And the final session is a very important session that is called the evaluation session. The evaluation session is when you decide either you're going to marry or not. But here in Toastmasters, because we are celebrating Valentine's Day, we will make sure that you marry to Toastmaster by giving you some of the best things that you need to know as a speaker and as a presenter. For an evaluation session, there is a person who heads the evaluation session, and he is called the general evaluator of the day. Today's general evaluator is a special person. When he comes to the stage, I'm sure my mom would have always thought, why can't he be my son? He is always neatly combed, dressed in the most boyish fashion ever possible, and he always liked to smile. As I would like to say it, he is the man of the moment, as he has proven over various Toastmasters meetings, not only in this club, but various clubs, that he always wants to help, and he is here to help today. He works at Silver Retina, and he is the Area Secretary of Area L3. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Toastmaster Ravi Kumar.